Welcome back to the show. It's 13 minutes past 6 now. Well, 275 Australians are diagnosed every day with obesity-related type 2 diabetes. And today, some startling advice from our top researchers. It's more cost-effective and you'll enjoy a better quality of life if you choose lap band surgery over conventional care. Over the lifetime of a type 2 diabetic, diet, exercise and medication will cost the system just over $100,000, whereas gastric banding and the related care will cost close to $99,000. Now, that's a saving of more than $2,000, and while that doesn't sound like much, researchers say the improvement in quality of life is huge. Some of our top institutions have been involved in this finding, and joining me now is co-author Professor Paul O'Brien from Monash University. Good morning to you, Professor.
Good morning, Lisa.
Now, this sounds like pretty radical advice.
Well, yes, it is. Diabetes is a radical disease and it needs good treatment. And if we go back a little bit, a year ago we published a study which we showed that the obese person with type 2 diabetes went into remission in most cases after they had weight loss, in that case using the lap band procedure. And so that was a very dramatic finding because diabetes is a dreadful problem. But the worry is this will cost the community too much because surgery is expensive. So what we've done in these two studies that we've just published today is we've shown firstly what the real cost was to treat those people. And in our first study we measured that cost exactly and found that it was just under $17,000, that we spent $17,000 in order to get remission of diabetes. So we then went on and we modelled those people for the rest of their life. But in essence, you can say that over 10 years, all those costs, plus all other healthcare costs, come to less than if you just stayed with conventional treatment. So at the end of that period, here we've got a person on the one hand who has no diabetes and therefore none of the costs and none of the complications and the unpleasantness of diabetes, and it hasn't cost the community anything. So not focusing on the $2,000 saving, what's important is it hasn't cost money to the community. So for our healthcare administrators, they can look at this and say, we can help people get rid of this malicious disease of type 2 diabetes, and at the same time, we know it's not going to cost us money.
As we said at the beginning, 275 people a day are diagnosed with it in this country. How many across the community are there with type 2 diabetes at the moment?
It's estimated there are about 1.7 million people who have type 2 diabetes. Now, not all of these are suitable or it would be appropriate to think about weight loss surgery, but probably a quarter of those it would be appropriate to consider weight loss surgery, and that's a huge cost to a community, particularly if you think of $16,900 as the cost of doing the procedure, overall cost of doing that procedure. And therefore, to show that eventually you will get your money back becomes very important as you plan what you should do for these people.
Professor, you could imagine there would be plenty of people who would say that this is just a cop-out, it doesn't encourage a healthy lifestyle post-surgery. Is it just a quick fix that could see people returning to their old ways?
Definitely not. It's actually hard work for the people involved as well as for us. It's a care process that starts with placing the lap band but goes on permanently. We're always seeing people, we're working with them to eat properly, to exercise properly, to get the best result, and the partnership only works if both parties are taking part in it. It's hard work, but it's achievable, and we've shown we can achieve it, and we've shown that it's worthwhile, and we've shown now that it's cost effective.
Well, Professor Paul O'Brien, it is a fascinating study, and if it reduces the number of people with type 2 diabetes, it's got to be a good thing. Thanks very much for your time this morning.
Thank you, Lisa.